And we're back. Post-induction ceremony back at the museum. Bob has much more to share with you all.
Yep. We're going to look around. We're coming into the old baseball movies of the past area. And William Bendix, killing the umpire. He played an umpire here, but he played Babe Ruth in the 1948 movie. And he was a lovable Hollywood actor and a comedian. He was great. And over here, you know what this is? This is the Fear Strikes. This is the guy had mental issues. It was I'm trying to think of his name off there. He used to go Jimmy Pearsall. He used to go one time at Yankee Stadium. He got so scared during the game he ran behind the monuments and hit there right in the middle of the game and just stopped. He didn't stop. One time he ran around the bases backwards. He got called out at the plate. But this was a great movie. And Tony Perkins was actually in it. A very young one. We actually have a. This is.
Here we go.
This is.
Get some old school jerseys.
Yes, this is field. League of Their Own, I believe, right? This is the girls with there's no crying in baseball.
Rookie of the year.
Yeah. Up there we have. We have the play and the movie Damn Yankees. That's when. The player for the Washington Senators sold his soul to the devil just to beat the Yankees. And it turned out that that didn't work out too good for him. But he ended up getting his soul back at the end. I do remember that. There's Angels in the outfield.
There's the League of Their Own.
Yes, there it is. You know what? And that's the original League of Their Own. Those are the real players in Life magazine in the 1940s during the war. They formed that team because of the war. Because there wasn't a lot of people like us. Mm-hmm. They were all fighting. This one, Angel in the Outfield, that's the remake. The original was done in 1951. And it was actually Janet Leigh was the girl, and it was about the Pittsburgh Pirates and Ralph Kiner. And there was one scene where all the stars were in, including Joe DiMaggio. He's got the bat. He goes, we'll give him some of our angels. But real angels came and helped the Pirates because they were so pathetic. But the guy had to change change his ways. So it was really, really good.
Yeah, Matthew McConaughey, I believe, is in that movie. The remake back 30 years ago.
Yes. It's hardly new anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Bad News Bears, old school.
Yep. Oh, everything's old school here, that's for sure.
Major League Baseball, classic.
We're 61. Madison. Yeah.
That's it.
Yep.
Who holds the record now?
Who holds the record for most homers in a season?
Yeah.
Barry Bonds.
How many?
73. Here is Jackie Robinson's uniform, and they're is in Sporting Life, not even Sporting News. That was so long ago.
Follow Bob. He will take us to the promised land of sports knowledge and insight like no other.
On the second floor, and we're gonna see Grandstand Theater, Generations of the Game, Taking the Field, his whole timeline, Babe Ruth, his life and legends, Ideals and Injustices, Diamond Dreams, Viva Baseball, which is the Spanish section, I believe, of the players from Central South America, and a whole new ball.
Hey, Bob.
Yes.
Who, in your opinion, I'm putting you on the spot.
Yeah.
Who, in your opinion, is the worst great player in baseball?
The worst great player?
Yeah.
Oh.
Who's considered just an all-time great, but he's amongst the class is the worst. Tough one.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, maybe Stanton, because everybody thinks he's so great, and he's Dave Kingman today. He strikes out all the time. He's the automatic out. He's the rally killer. He hit long home runs. Yeah, but so did Dave Kingman. Bro, strike out 200 times a year like Kingman did. So, Kingman was a Met and a Cub, and they lost a lot.
Who's Kingman's first name?
David Kingman.
David Kingman.
Yes, David. Mm-hmm. But I
and who's Stanton's first name?
John Carlo or Mike in the old days. Changed it. But inside.
All right.
This is kind of way back. This is from like the early days of how baseball formed. You can see the pictures. That's 1834. This is all part of
Playing ball.
Yes, playing ball, putting things together, and how it all formed into what we have today. I would say that's really far back. I don't know about the Egyptian picture, but
I'm a little skeptical
yes,
of the hieroglyphics.
yes. And it says "Taking the field" right there. It has a.
Although apparently, according to this, which is the original wall relief from 1460 BC, alongside artist rendering, showing Egyptian pharaoh Thutmose III engaging in Sikar Hamat, a bat and ball game played for religious ritual. Okay, so maybe there's something to that.
There's something to it. And
hey, when we say baseball's an old school game,
he died at 18 years old, but never got into his.
Here's from the here's basically stickball from the 1200s.
Wow,
medieval Spain.
That's pretty impressive.
1251. How young men were playing ball in the meadow.
This is from stickball. Oh, this is, notice, 1845, the Knickerbockers of New York City.
Yeah, stickball is still pretty big in the boroughs.
First penned 20 rules for their version of baseball. The game called the New York game, which eventually laid the foundation for today's game. Baseballs.
Mm-hmm.
And, they were, if you notice, it says it right here, con balls traditionally decorated with winning clubs. The baseballs dating primarily from the 1860s were displayed in this showcase at the Eckersford Clubhouse in Brooklyn. And
who lost 47-6? That's what I want.
A lot of teams back then. That was kind of their thing.
47-6, right in front.
Yes.
A lot of blowouts. 33-16.
Yeah, they should be football scores.
38-20. A lot of scoring.
Okay, this is talking baseball. This is all the stuff from the past. Here's the original buildings that where the clubs met. This is a game for all players. And I guess maybe these are the pictures of the owners. They must be. And this is all the people of the 1800s, the past, the bats.
Who, Bob, was the most despised baseball owner in history?
I would say, well, Finley was in the 70s. He was hated by the players. But there's been others. I mean, for as much as George was loved, he wasn't always so loved. He was pretty tough on him. And I would say that.
And who's Finley? Is his first name?
Charlie O'Finley.
And he was the man. He was the owner of what team?
The Oakland Athletics. He was also the mayor of Kansas City. He bought the Beatles in Kansas City in 1964. They were not on the docket, but he gave them $100,000, played it for 15 minutes, and they did it. So he wasn't all that loved, but I mean, there were others too from the past. I mean,
well, how about vice versa?
I would say Comiskey. That's why the whole scandal happened with the White Sox turning Black Sox. He just wouldn't pay the players, and a lot of owners didn't back then, and that's what caused all the problems. So he wasn't too loved. He really wasn't.
Definitely not.
No.
How about vice versa? Most beloved owner of baseball.
Maybe Connie Mack was great.
And he was the owner of what team?
He was the owner of the Philadelphia A's. He was owner and coach, and he would never wear a uniform, but he was there for 50 years. I mean, that team was there from the 1870s to he was there from the 1870s to the 1920s, and he was pretty loved. So, I mean, here we have, you can look at it. It explains itself. There's just a lot of stuff from the 1800s here. It's kind of fun. It's kind of eerie too at the same time, but it's how it started and how it all came together. Notice, like, the team started having their own baseball clubs once it got big, because originally it was just one factory playing against another, and the people that went were the family members, and eventually it got so big that like every team in every city and every factory wanted to have their own team, and this is the result. Take a look. Early coverage in the 1850s focused on scores and stats, and these short reports fueled a love of baseball. So all of it was played into, and how it grew and how it became great. And I kind of like the mitts are like smaller than your hand. I don't know how they got their hands in, like right there in the mask. That thing, maybe for a 5-year-old that would fit, but everybody else, I don't think so. And here's the old baseball bats with the balls. They're definitely. I wonder how far they travel when you hit them. And actually, this picture is a good example because they're factory people. They're just sitting there with drinking when it's done, and from two different,
They had to go to work after they played.
They had to go to work after they played. Yeah, absolutely. And one was from New York, one's from Chicago, but that's kind of how it started. And it just really took off from there until what we have now. You can check out some of the silver cups. This is from an MVP from 1895 with the Phillies. The Phillies were around
1895.
There's a you know what, the Phillies are the losing team of all time. They have the most losses for franchise. But I guess they
most losing team in all of baseball or all of sports?
In baseball, I would assume it'd probably be all sports because
162 games.
There was 154 back then, and but the thing is, they've been around for over 100 years. So the only other sport that really did that was pretty much hockey. Basketball came around in 1946, and the NFL started in 1920, so they weren't around long enough. So I would say, yeah, Philly's got it. That'd be my guess. This is really cool. I love this ceramics.
1870s.
1870s. You can just check it out for yourself. It speaks for itself, really. Look at the old bats. It's unbelievable what they had. Different uniforms of the old days. I love that one. The Chicago Sox. They're not exactly White Sox. They're more like Red Sox there, and maybe they are. Oh, not Chicago. But these are all classic pictures and everything that came before. And that's baseball's kind of worn down, right? But I really like that Red Sox, which is really a Red Sox uniform. It's really great.
That's a great uniform.
It really is.
That's
I like the White Sox used the SOX kind of thing when they played that Field of Dreams game against the Yankees about a month ago. So, of course, but,
might need to bring that logo back.
Yeah. If you push this button, you can actually get let's see if we get the quiz right. Let's see if we can get it right.
Oh, no quiz there, Bob.
No. There's going to be. Maybe there's not going to be.
There might not be a quiz. It
No.
could just be a video reel.
Catch me if you can.
Try a different one.
Okay. Oh, they're all on there. Okay. There you go.
And Bob destroyed the screen.
No, I didn't. It's like an old, reel to reel. It's going to take one for the team. Let's see if we get it right. 1882.
A little while ago.
Yeah. He's up at bat. He's hit with the pitch.
Beans.
What is the correct call? The batter is awarded first base. He remains at bat or is allowed to bean the pitcher. I like the third one myself.
I like the third one best.
But I think it's B. Remains at bat. This is 1882. I don't think he gets first base.
Oh, you didn't get anything for that? You could just get beaned?
I believe that we're going to find out the answer. Let's see if I'm right. He stays at the plate, I say. He remains at the bat.
You were correct, Bob.
There you go.
It was not until 1887,
right.
1884 in the American Association, that the batter was awarded first base after being hit by a pitch.
There you go. And they all do it all the way down. Just push these buttons. Here's the official rules of Knickerbocker baseball on September 3rd.
At the Baseball Club, 1845?
Yes. And you guys can look at that. That's really awesome.
You can probably look that up on your favorite search engine, folks.
Absolutely.
A little fine print.
Yes.
Get the Knickerbocker Baseball Club from 1845.
Yeah. And here's what the field used to, really, talk about a diamond. That's pretty, dry, a cut and dry right there. And look at these older pictures with these guys. I mean, that was their uniform. Loved their cap. Notice the managers, they didn't wear uniforms. They would just wear suits.
It's 1879, but they used from 1863 to 1892.
Yes.
The box was then replaced by the pitcher's rubber. So they had a box, huh? Pitcher's box?
There you go. See the box. Same thing. Yep, square. More square than it is now, of course. Now it's round. Okay.
The advent of the American League.
Yeah, it started in 1903. And Ernest Wagner actually played for the Pittsburgh Pirates in the National League. But this is you said American League? You said
it's an advent of American League.
Okay.
I'm just reading the sign.
Got it.
Regurgitating the written word.
Okay. But like I said, there you go. Ernest Wagner, Pittsburgh Pirates, 3 successive National League titles. And here's some of his trophies and his uniforms and his bats. I mean, and he got the key to the city of Pittsburgh. How about that?
Give me that key.
Yes.
Need to keep it away from the Pittsburgh Panthers.
Yes.
Had enough of them.
Yes. And there's the old pirate hat. And the 2 trophies. It's beautiful. Okay, what we got here? Oh, this is 3-finger. Mordecai Brown. He was, I believe, and there you can see it. If you look in there, he used the 3 back fingers to throw the ball, and he was one of them. He was up there with Christy Matheson and all the others. And if you look at it, there you go, Christy Matheson, one of the folks that in. He was so unhittable. He was amazing. And there's, of course, there's his old shoes. And I was thinking about 3-finger before. It's funny we were at the induction. He was a great player. And there's the 3 Cubs. Tickers there for the chance. 1906, 7, and 8. They won 2 out of 3. They lost in 06. They were an amazing infield duo. They never made errors pretty much. And then we have Joe Tinker's gold championship watch. Wow, that's a watch. That's a watch.
It's a watch?
Back then,
the watch fob.
Yeah, okay. And he obviously that'd be 1907 or 8. Oh, there you go.
How about that glove?
07, yeah. That looks like his hand.
Yeah.
I mean, pretty much. Here's Ever Doubleday. I guess it's one of the first balls they ever used. And, I believe it was a Civil War hero. Yeah, he was. There you go. 1839. And
1839.
But the Civil War, of course, was 1861 to 65. But before that, I guess he was working on baseball. So there you go. Okay, here's one of Wagner's. More stuff from him. We have the bats and the uniform. And there's a picture of him on the bottom. He was a heck of a player. That's how I remember. Check out the jersey. Pretty impressive. Pretty hot in summer, but pretty impressive.
Yeah, it looks thick. Wouldn't want to wear it in the middle of July.
Here's an actual
in the
ball.
Bronx.
Here's an actual ball signed by him, which is pretty. I'd say that's a lot worth money.
What, $5?
Back then, yeah.
Back then it was $5.
Here's Dave's bowling ball shoes, and of course one of his baseball bats.
Oh, is this the part where you tell me that Babe Ruth was a better bowler than baseball player?
No, I don't tell you that. I just tell you he was bowling too.
I wasn't sure.
No, I do not.
I know he's a legend.
And by the way,
he's a great pitcher. Just had to make sure he wasn't also.
Oh, you're trying to set me up. No.
Well, it wouldn't have shocked me if you told me he was.
Well, that guy pretty much do anything, so who knows?
Yeah.
And here's his final years with the Yankees. Him, being famous around the world, including Japan. They couldn't wait to see him in 1927. He hit a home run. After the season was over, he went out there. They did a tour. MLB.
Ruth causes traffic jams in Tokyo.
Yes, that's exactly right. There's just, his back to Boston because at the end of his career with the Braves, his last game ever, he was 3 for 5 hitting 2 home runs.
That was his final game.
That was his final game. Yes.
2 homers, 3 for 5.
Yes. And he had a base hit.
Oh, and a hit.
Yes. Oh, yeah, 3.
2 homers,
You do anything.
1 hit.
You do anything.
End of his career.
Yes. And there's this called shot, which he says is true, I believe, because with him, I don't put nothing past him.
What'd you say, Bob?
There's this cold shot in the World Series against the Cubs in 1932.
Oh, yeah. The legendary called shot.
The pitcher says
He didn't call it.
yes, but we know the truth. He did, and there's the bat that did it right there. And there's actually
Where's the iconic photo? There's a photo. There's video of him giving the
there.
point.
It'll be over there on that screen.
We'll catch that.
Yes, this is actually the scorecard from back then. Pretty impressive. What we got here? Just more championships, more home runs. Here's Ruth and Derek.
Another world championship.
What a shot. Here's Ruth and Derek. That's a great picture. Looks like they're on a farm.
Well, that's all-time classic.
Yeah.
The Bustin' Babes, huh?
He was a rock star.
And that's all we heard about as kids. Babe Ruth. Babe Ruth.
As a matter of fact, during the Second World War, the Japanese would scream at you, "Die Babe Ruth." That's how big he was to the American troops. The baseball, he pitched with the Red Sox. Here you go, 1960. He was with the Boston Red Sox, and I believe he still has the record for 23 scoreless innings in the World Series. In a World Series, nobody's ever done that. Yes, you can do everything. He can pitch. He was great. The Yankees stole him away.
So he could have made the Hall of Fame just as a pitcher.
Yes. Oh no, he would have been in there just as a pitcher. Absolutely right. Which means there wouldn't have been any Yankee stuff. But yeah, but he even hit home runs as a pitcher. I mean, in 1918, he was the only one that hit a home run in the World Series against the Cubs. He beat him 4 straight, and he pitched at the same time and shut them out. He just wins trophy after trophy after trophy, and as you can tell, they're pretty big trophies. There's this famous slide when he would just take the batter out and spike him. You do it purposely. He was, at the end of his life, he won in the Coca-Cola. He died in 1961. And there was, if you look at some of the other guys, there's Ty, and there's Hugh Jennings, Sam Crawford. It's all the, that's a Philadelphia A's uniform right there. Because see the elephant? The elephant is still their mascot. And now they're in Oakland, of course. And this is the guy that started them. He was their owner.
I mean, Oakland might want to, rejuvenate the elephant mascot, Bob. I mean, look what Alabama's doing right now in college football.
Yeah, really.
Might be a good idea to bring the elephant back.
Great idea, man.
There's the elephant.
This thing is, there's the elephant. And this is all dedicated to the Philadelphia A's. Connie Mack was their manager for 50 years. I think they played at Shibe Park, and from 1870 to 1920, he was there, and that's how he dressed for every game. He would go on assignments. Home run Baker, this guy, I don't remember. He had the most home runs ever until Ruth hit 50. I want to say 4 in 1920, maybe. I think for one season he had like maybe 12 home runs in one season. They call him home run Baker for maybe 12, 14, something like that. But it was really low. But this team was a dynasty. Chief Bender, the Indian, he played on the Oakland A's, not the Cleveland, the real Indian.
Real.
Mm-hmm. Eddie Collins, who was just a
real
hit.
Chippewa.
Yep. He was a hit machine. Eddie Plank was a great pitcher, a lefty. Couldn't hit him. There's their sweaters. They're kind of their uniform sweaters. I mean, they were great. And now we're looking at Cy Young. Interesting because this is a young pitcher in Cleveland. And he actually pitched with Boston too. So, but he had the 511 wins, and which is still the most of all time. And there's a trophy he won there. Let's see what this says. He was the king of pitchers, and so that's what they gave him. And there he is with it. Actually, the picture plays a lot. Look at the difference between him young and old. Him old.
1890. 1890. 1932.
Yep.
So, I mean, that's what happens when 42 years goes by.
That's right.